Hi, and good morning. I'm having some odd technical difficulties from the sun, but we'll just ignore that. Keep going. So I got a few responses from everyone about what you wanted to learn going forward, and one of the greatest aspects of math that I've discovered is missing that you want to get when you're younger. It's not on you, just whenever you learn it, it is great, but it's easier. It makes things easier if you learn it when you're younger. Is organizing. Math, and thusly all of science, which can go into other places, language, debate, is about categorizing things and organizing them. That's it. So it's a little bit why I brush back at the idea of students not having to do certain things because, whether it's like writing things down or note-taking or showing every step, that process is math. It is math. So if you've been in my class before, you've heard me speak many times about how our earliest counting was about counting what we had. It was mostly agriculture based, counting your sheep, literally, counting your eggs before and after they hatch, or your chickens. And so that organization is what's necessary, and if you have that, you can build on it to any amount that you need. Anything. But you have to have that first. And there's no point in jumping to the end because the process is the discipline. The process is the subject matter. So whenever someone who's not a math teacher tells you, and it could be any other person, tells you that somehow it's about the answer, they're wrong. The entire essence of math and science is the process. Okay? So, that's rule number one. A lot of you wanted to know how to better do skills. Okay? So I'm going to give a singular algebra problem here. And then I'm going to have 5 for you to do. And again, this is something that, write down paper. Okay? I'm going to do it on paper. And there are things that you can Google search, and we're going to talk about it. This lesson here, I'm 3 minutes in. Hopefully it's just another 4 minutes, because I'm going to do a relatively simple problem. Okay? Okay. So I've got this. I'll nab it. Oh, but it's not backwards for you. Okay, you see it? 2x plus 3 equals 9. Okay? So you guys can write that down in your notes. When you're done with it, just take a picture on your phone, upload it to me. You can email me or put it on the Google Classroom. So there are a lot of symbols in this. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 symbols. Math is a language, and these symbols you need to know. You just do. You need to memorize them. Now, here's the beautiful thing about 2021. You can put these things in a Google search engine. You can see them on your keyboard if you don't know what they mean. This means 2. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils. Okay? This is going to be our variable that is my favorite variable, x. This is not the time symbol. But in between this 2 and the x, there is what we call an implicit multiplication. So when we butt a number against a letter, the operation is multiply. So we need to make sure that we know this. multiply right there. So usually, as you get up in math, you use a dot. 2 times x. This symbol means to add. This is 3. 3 i's. 3. This is equals, meaning that's our balance. 9. Okay, we're going to 10 fingers minus 1 is 9. So this symbol, of course, means this amount is the same as this amount. Okay? Now, we want to discover what this thing is. Now, some of you might already recognize, this is the unknown, right? This is the unknown. The variable is the thing we don't know. Now, just sidebar, okay, you have this written down in your notes. When you're dealing with a variable in larger science, that's something you get to change and mess with and monkey with. That's the whole point. You're making projections out there and you're defining what your variables are. Okay? There's a lot of conversation right now in the city about school and COVID and then different other aspects of what do we do and students and population, and people are trying to put together workable equations to then predict things. And as we talked about last spring, that's ever changing. That's real life math, okay? And right now we're reaching a point where the downside of COVID, or the fears of COVID, are peaking out with the downside of what's happening to our society, what's happening to all of us by being stuck indoors still, right? And not having school and not having events and things. So there's that tipping point, and we're kind of in that right now. So as long as you know what the symbols mean, right, you can solve. Now, math is about inverse operations. Right? So, these are the operations: multiplication, addition. The inverse are the things that undo it, right? I tie my shoes, I take them off. I untie them to take them off, right? I wasn't wearing this shirt this morning, so I took off my pajamas, I put on the shirt. Those are inverse operations. I'll eventually have to take this one off if I ever want to wash it, right? We recognize that. There's just mathematical inverses. And this is, again, something you need to know and memorize. The inverse of multiplication is division. The inverse of addition is subtraction. So, I'm going to rewrite this here. So, multiplication is more powerful than addition. So you do the addition first, which that means you subtract 3. And you have to do it to both sides, because remember, this symbol means that they're the same. So to keep them the same, if I took 3 away from one of them, I had to take 3 away from the other. Right? This is like candy on Halloween. If you and your friend have the same amount of candy, and you eat 2, then they have to eat 2 for you to still have the same. Now, I put this down, this line, to help us remember that this is a singular step. Now, you picked subtracting 3 because you wanted to get rid of this, so this you don't even have to really write. And this stays. This is still the equal sign, right? And you're just left with that operation. Well, what's 9 minus 3? 6. You can use your fingers too, never worry. Here's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 fingers are up. This one doesn't count, right? I'd put it away. So now I'm going to get rid of 3. 1, 2, 3. So how many fingers do I have up left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't ever let anyone tell you you can't use your fingers. Use your fingers. 2 times this unknown is 6. Well, now we're going to divide by 2. And again, you picked this because you want it to go away. So the only thing left is your x. Well, I know we memorize these things. It's faster, but let's go back to our 6 fingers, okay? We want these to be in 2 groups. So we need equal groups. Well, of course, if I put these 3 together and these 3 together, or if we want to like just make it easier to look at, I'll do it this way, right? Is this still 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it is. But I've grouped it differently. This is 6. This is 6. They look different though, don't they? This is almost like our division, or our 6 beforehand, and now we're dividing it into 2 equal parts. How many are in each part? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 6 divided by 2 is, survey says, 3. And then we circle that because that's the answer. Our unknown up here is 3. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9. Yep. So it's the process. If you jump to the answer, you've learned nothing. I don't say that to be a jerk. I just say it to be true. If I watch someone run a mile, I can go, wow, that's really cool. But that does nothing for my fitness. Full stop. I have seen a lot of people dunk a basketball in my lifetime. I still can't dunk it. So, take that for what you will. Have a happy Monday. 11 minutes. Took a little longer. Actually, we're bumping up on 12. But I want you guys to do well. I believe in you. I know you can do this. The more you give yourself a space to learn, time to learn, mental, shut it off. Okay, this is 12 minutes long. That's all I want all day. 12 minutes. If you did 12 minutes of focused time, then do the problems tomorrow. Okay? I try to always give space for that. You can do this. You're doing a good job. See you later.